I'm always asked what my number one tip is for a woman that's looking to become her highest self, and my answer is always the same. A woman has to make a commitment to constantly improving herself if she really wants to be the best she can be. Understandably, the follow-up question is always, well, how do I constantly improve myself? I'm so glad you asked. In this video, I'm going to answer this question for the girlies so that they can finally know how to keep getting better and never stop evolving. And if you're new here, hi girl, my name is Marcella Christina, and on this channel, I teach women how to become their highest self. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to subscribe. Now, ladies, I want you to think of this video as less of a checklist and more of an approach. Becoming your highest self is not about creating a never-ending to-do list and then struggling to get it all done. It's about the way you show up day in and day out and the commitment that you make to becoming better each day. So if you're ready to improve and keep improving, then watch this video until the end for all of the game-changing tips. Let's get started. If you want to be a woman that constantly improves, you need to observe yourself. And when I say observe yourself, I mean every single detail. If I asked you to tell me a few things about yourself, you'd probably start with your name, where you're from, and maybe even what your favorite color is. But what if I asked you what your first thought was this morning, or what your last thought was last night? All of a sudden, we're in the weeds, aren't we? Some women are so unaware that they're going through life not even knowing what they're saying, thinking, or feeling. And if you want to be a woman that constantly improves, then this just can't be you. Constant improvement requires a level of self-awareness and self-honesty that the average woman just cannot handle. Because quite frankly, it takes effort, and you have to be willing to put in the work day in and day out until you get the results that you're looking for. Let's take how you think, for example. If you're a woman that constantly thinks negatively, then now you're going to have to put in the work to change your negative thoughts to positive ones. And my dear, make no mistake, it is work. Because you constantly have to challenge yourself to drop your old way of doing things and start a new way of doing things. You have to monitor how you speak, not only what you say, but how you say things. And you have to come into an awareness that some things are okay to say and some things you shouldn't ever say. And so it's a constant process of reflection and refinement, reflection and refinement. And when you're starting out, it can be a bit overwhelming. And that's when most women throw in the towel, but that can't be you. You have to stick with it because eventually you do get to a point where you can observe these things and filter through them in real time. I mean, at lightning speed. You think a negative thought, you pull it out and you replace it with a positive one, all in one go. And that's when you really begin to see the constant improvements because your thoughts get better and better, so you get better and better. Constantly improving yourself requires you to unpack your traumas and really deal with your trouble areas. We all have had experiences in life that had an impact on us that wasn't that great. But the beautiful thing about constantly improving yourself and doing this work is that you get to go back and fix those areas. And when I say fix, I don't necessarily mean changing the situation because it has already happened. But we can change our perspective. We can fix the way we see the situation. Because as I always stress on this channel, there's always a silver lining. That situation did teach you something and reveal something to you that you can use in your present day. And that's where we should be putting our focus on. We all have shortcomings and we all have our blind spots that we have to bring into our awareness as much as we possibly can. Because by this point, I'm sure you know how much of a role your subconscious mind plays. So if we really want to constantly improve, we have to get in there. We have to search ourselves as much as possible and really uncover what it is that's running the show. We got to figure out our own stuff. And it can be challenging. I want to be honest and upfront about that. But it is so well worth it. Because once you know yourself inside out, there's nothing that anyone could ever throw at you that would throw you off your game. You have to become the type of person that checks in with yourself. You can't just live life day by day just going through the motions. You have to pay attention. You have to be mindful of how you spent your day, how your week is going, what you have planned for the month. Are you living up to your intention and expectations for the year? You have to really be an intentional woman if you want to constantly improve. So checking in with yourself is something that you should be making a priority. When you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, how am I feeling? And before you go to bed at night, ask yourself, how did my day go? What were some of my wins? What can I improve on tomorrow? That's the DNA. That's the fabric of a woman that constantly evolves. To constantly improve yourself, you need to be a woman that consumes positive content. Now, ladies, I have to admit, back in my day, I used to enjoy a good old kiki, particularly on my social media feed. I would overlook a lot of nonsense and even laugh at it because I thought it was just harmless. Oh, it's just a joke. It doesn't mean anything. Well, was I wrong? That's why I'm grateful for my own evolution and that I'm constantly improving. Because now it's clear as day to me that you can't be positive and negative at the same time. You have to pick one, so make that decision now. Are you going to be the person that scrolls through social media, engaging with toxic content and toxic people? Are you going to be the person that engages in low vibrational conversations, gossiping about other people and tearing them down? Or are you going to be the type of person that curates your social media feed so that it's positive, that it shows you things that actually propel you and move you forward in your life? Are you going to be the type of person that speaks well of other people? And if you have nothing nice to say, at least has the wisdom to not say anything at all. You get to decide, but you do have to make a choice. A woman that has a no-nonsense diet does not deal with the foolishness. I'm telling you this firsthand. If I'm scrolling through social media and I see something that just does not align with me, I'm the first one to be vocal and tell Instagram, I'm not interested. I've unfollowed who I needed to unfollow, and I've blocked who I've needed to block because I've chosen to be positive. I've made my choice. And the beautiful thing about the choice that I made is that now it's given me more opportunities to engage with content that truly makes me feel good. Everything that I see makes me happy, inspires me, or teaches me something. And what's on my social media feed also applies to my actual life as well. I've blocked the phone numbers that I needed to block, and I pick up the phone for people that have positive outlooks on life and always has something uplifting to say. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And because I was willing to make these adjustments and improvements in my life, I'm seeing constant improvements in all areas. You have to become someone who internalizes and communicates positivity, because ultimately that is the point of curating your feed in your life for positivity. It's so that you consume it and it becomes a part of you. A woman that constantly improves herself understands that ultimately it's an inside job. You have to become the person that can get better and better on your own. It's fine to engage with others and to be inspired by other people, but that positivity should really live inside of you. I think one of the best ways to cultivate this positivity is to begin journaling, because it's really going to teach you how to speak to yourself in a positive way, or how to identify the positive things that are happening in your life. And that's why you'll hear so many people talk about gratitude journaling, because not only does it allow them to change their perspective and take in all of the positive that's happening in their life, it also allows them to communicate that. And if you have a like-minded person in your life, then I would suggest talking to them. There's nothing more powerful than a conversation with two people that are on the same frequency. You both are going to grow in ways that you can't even imagine. And that's how you constantly improve. To constantly improve yourself, you need to surround yourself with success. The simplest way to do that is to befriend successful people. Now notice I said simplest and not easiest. When you're on your self-improvement journey and you make a commitment to constantly improving yourself, there could be a bit of imposter syndrome in the beginning. And unfortunately, this imposter syndrome holds a lot of women back from achieving their full potential and even prevents them from making quality, lifelong, life-changing relationships. A woman that is not yet successful might find it challenging to befriend someone that is successful because she might not believe that she has anything to offer. And that's that tricky imposter syndrome, because the truth is we all have something to offer. It's just about identifying what it is and being confident enough to offer it to others. So do the work, ladies. Observe yourself and get rid of all of those self-sabotaging beliefs so that you can step out into the spaces that allow you to meet the people that you need to meet. There are so many perks of being around successful people. And I'm not talking about the fancy dinners, shopping for designer, or traveling on luxury vacations. No. I'm talking about the discipline and the mindset of successful people. That alone will change your life. And if you're willing to pay attention and be a sponge around these people, you are destined to constantly improve yourself. Because you have to understand there's a reason why these people are successful. Be less fascinated with the success itself and be more curious about what even caused that success. What brought about that success? Learning about that should excite you. And as long as you come willing to give and having something to offer, successful people will be happy to pour into you because you're pouring into them first. Always seek out people that have more and know more than you, because think about it, you have nothing to gain from someone that has less and knows less. If we really want to unpack what it means to constantly improve, it means to not ever plateau. There isn't ever a level that you get to where you just throw your hands up and say, that's it. Because of course it's not. You're still here, you're still living, and you're still breathing. So that means there's more to do. And that's why it becomes so important to consistently seek out people that know more and have more than you, because they're going to continuously show you what's possible. While you're thinking about how far you've come, they're going to show you how much further you can go. And that's how you keep getting better. To constantly improve yourself, you need to eat to live. Now, if I had you ladies up until now, this might be the point where I start to lose you. People are very protective about their eating habits, even if their eating habits aren't very protective of them. Now that's a bar. When a person eats to live, it means that they view food as fuel for their body, not something to indulge in. Again, look at my choice of word here. I didn't say not something to enjoy. I said not something to indulge in. It's fine to enjoy your food. In fact, you should enjoy your food. But indulging in your food is something different. At the end of the day, your food should serve you, as in serving your body, which means it should provide the nutrients to keep your body functioning at the highest level. It should serve your body. It should not serve your emotional needs. And the moment it does, that's when you begin indulging in it. A woman that constantly improves herself does not do this. She takes her health seriously, and so she takes food seriously, because food is necessary for us to survive. Learn what foods are healthy for you and what it provides for your body, what vitamins each food has, what nutrients it provides. I'm 31, and I'm literally just now beginning to learn what foods do what. I'm literally just beginning to learn how to actually show up for my body, how to eat when I'm tired, what I should be eating during my menstrual cycle, etc., etc. Like, there's so many levels to this. I wish that more women understood it. For something that plays such a vital part in our lives, we overlook food way too much. And as women that are constantly evolving, we have to stop doing that. Determine what your body needs and is deficient in. As I mentioned earlier, know how to show up for your body when it tells you that it needs something. Learn what you're deficient in, get blood work done, get some labs done, and use that information to empower yourself. Whatever you're lacking, use supplements or change your diet so that you can improve it. I'm literally in the process of doing this now, and when I tell you the energy levels that I have, like they're literally going from 0 to 100. I'm looking good, feeling good, and getting a lot more done. Hello, improvement. To constantly improve yourself, connect to source. If there's one thing that I know, it's that there's a higher power. Some people may not agree with this, and that's entirely on them. I have no issue with you personally, but I'm just telling you what I know. If you really want to become your highest version, you are going to need to connect to God. For some people, that's the universe. For some people, that's nature. But the point is, there is a higher power, and the best version of you is connected to Him. I don't want to turn this video into a sermon, but at this point, my entire life is a sermon, so it is what it is. Have a grounding practice. Meditation and prayer are two things that if you start today, your entire life will change by the end of this week. The way you see the world will change, and most importantly, the way you see yourself will change. And once you begin to see yourself in a better light, it's so much easier for you to constantly improve, because you see yourself as someone that constantly improves. Becoming a woman that evolves is not about becoming a busybody. It's not about packing every single waking hour of your day with tasks, because all that's going to do is lead to burnout and make you bitter. The real level up is not outside. It's inside. It's the peace that you feel after meditating. It's the mental clarity that you get from prayer, because now you're in a mental space where constantly improving is possible for you. And once you get that down, then everything else will take care of itself. That's when you'll begin to see things show up in physical form, because you're constantly improving on the inside. If you really want to become a woman that constantly improves, then you need to become serious about making this connection your top priority. You need to be intentional about your relationship with God, His plans for your life, and the role that you play. And if I know nothing else, walking with God is a life of constant improvement. See you at the top. Constantly improving yourself is a way of living life. It's not about a destination. It's about a commitment to using every day of your life to become a better woman, until one day we wake up and we're in the most beautiful place, more beautiful than we could have ever imagined. That's the life of a woman that constantly improves. And that's the life that I want for you, because you deserve it. So now's your time to claim it. Now I want to hear from you. How do you plan on constantly improving? Drop it in the comments below. And if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you. Be sure to subscribe. We'd love to have you become a part of the family. Earlier, I mentioned that you need to observe yourself if you want to improve yourself. But if you realize that you have a scarcity mindset, then that's going to be the first thing you need to deal with. So watch this video on why you're attracting scarcity and learn how to stop. Okay, my loves, until next time, take good care of yourselves. Bye.